right, guys, welcome back to Pro Bikini News Network. I'm your host, John L. Gandy, and in today's video, we're going to be recapping the Toronto Pro and the DC Pro, and we're also going to be reviewing Nevada State and Empro Pro in Spain. I was going to recap the Mile High, but there were no stage photos from NBC News Online, and they didn't have much coverage, but we assumed Ashley Kaltwasser was going to win that show, and she did, so congratulations to her. That's her 51st win. DC Pro was really exciting because it was 1 point difference between all out of the competitors for a small list, and Toronto being the biggest show of the weekend. It was really competitive with previous Olympians and the rookie Jessica Neary getting her pro win and getting to the Olympia. And it's exciting for her because last year we didn't even have a rookie or a new pro qualify for the Olympian. For this year, she's the first one. So excited for her. I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do. She has an amazing physique. She's a great poser as well. I'm going to be recapping her and talking about what I feel like she can do going into the Olympia. And regardless of how she does going into her first one, it's going to be a great experience for her. And I definitely think for many years she's going to be on the Olympia stage. So we'll talk about DC Pro first, and we'll start with our first competitor. I think Natalia was her name. Let me pull her up. Here. Do this, share. Here's our top 5. Also, congratulations to Nikki. She got 6th place in her pro debut after turning pro at Junior USA's, and she's also going to be someone we're going to be talking about this weekend. But we'll get to that soon. But so here's Natalia. So she's from Brazil. She's done pretty well in shows. I think she's been like 7th, 8th in the top 10 in a lot of shows, and I think this is her first top 5. I don't know if I'm hoping I'm not saying the wrong information. I do think she is a Masters competitor, but she looks phenomenal. The lighting here at the DC Pro is very like harsh, bright, but I feel like some people's stands, that's why they kind of don't look as good. But she has an amazing structure. I do think she may be a little conditioned if I'm looking at her back. Yeah, it kind of makes it way. I feel like her suit could be adjusted, and her hair could be put back so it's not covering her shoulders, but great look. I do think she need to be a little more tighter in her core. But I think it's a good look. I do think she kind of needs a little more leg in the back, so it just matches her glutes. Because if you just see here, it's kind of like you're just seeing glutes, and her leg make her glutes make her legs look smaller. She is very, like I said, I think you kind of see from the front where she was a little conditioned. You can see how tight her hamstrings are here. I do think maybe could use a little more rear delts that just help balance out her physique. Like I said, the hair could be different in the front, but I feel like she could just crop this little part right here, could help her out. She doesn't have a snatch waist, but she makes her detail rounder, and obviously great genetics. I just think she just needed more glutes, more upper glutes up here, and more legs just to balance the physique out. But overall, great look that she brought. And hey, first top 5, that's great for her. Right. Next up, let's go to Gavi. So this is her first show back since July of last year. I was used to seeing her in purple, which I was seeing a lot of people wear red suits. It's fine on her. I prefer her in purple. Her makeup actually is pretty good. It, like I said, the lighting kind of takes away, but this is really good makeup on her. But the lighting, it's just something you have to play with. You can't always, there's nothing you can do. Her hair, I love her hair. In her front, I just think she kind of needed just a little more upper glute, because you see where her lower back goes down here. Like from waist up, it's like pretty spot on. I do think she does need to still adjust this front pose to work for her, so she looks more comfortable. In the back, just a little tighter, just more glued, and just a little tighter in the conditioning, just from her tie-ins. Overall, great physique, like a beautiful girl, amazing structure. She is on the taller side. I think she's about 5'6". I just think right for what she needs to do is just adjust her front pose and just add a little more glute, and just legs are pretty balanced with her glutes. I just think she just needs more projection and just more fullness to it. I mean, it's harder for taller girls as well, but overall, I'm happy to see her moving up one spot from her previous top 5 placing, and I definitely think if she continues and just adjusts a couple things, she can move up into the top 2 and eventually win a show. Next, we have Alessia. So I'm going to stop sharing. So I didn't have a stage photo from her, but I did find on NPC News Online. So last year, Alessia had, I think she was top 5 in maybe 1 or 2 shows, but I do think that's because of the fact that she carries a little more muscle. From what I'm seeing here, it looks good. One thing that she has to be mindful now, I think, because she's getting up there, is her waist. She just needs to be more tighter in her waist. Bring her shoulders up as well in the front. But from like waist down, pretty spot on. I do think maybe just a little adjustment to here. But overall, proud of her. I mean, it could have gone either way with her at 3rd or 4th place. I think I had her outside because I just was looking at previous show, but hey, to come back and to do well here, that's great for her. So we go into her back pose. It's just, I feel like in her front, that's what she needs to work on. But in her back, it's pretty good. Also she needs to crop out you just crop this hair just so it's not like touching her glutes or not her back. I do think she just needs a better suit cut, because you can kind of see like right here, it kind of makes like she's losing up her glutes here. Conditioning spot on. One thing about her is either she comes in way too hard or way too conditioned. That's kind of a thing you see with European competitors a lot. But overall, happy for her. I'm happy to see her get back into those placings, and eventually let's see what she does for the rest of the season. All right. And second, we had China. Now this was a really close look. This was a really close like win for her, and I'm proud to see what she's doing along her journey. She's been getting top 3, top 6 placings. From what I was told was that at the show, like as she was posing, she started fading. So she just has to, keep going when it gets very competitive. Honestly, it could have gone with her or Tara for the win, but I think they give it to Tara because of just posing conditioning and how people last long. And she brought a really great physique. I think that she's very well balanced. From her shoulders to glutes, everything matches up. How she's posing, honestly, very comparable, I would say, to like Daraja with posing. I do think that when you see her in the back, that's kind of like in her back, I feel like it's very compatible, but it feels like she has to find a way to keep that the whole time and not fade. So foot positioning's good. Glutes are full right here in the front. Shoulders are good. I do think how she's posing is pretty spot on right here. I do think that she could maybe twist to a little bit right here. It's just my opinion. Okay, let's go see. In the back, she's pretty good, but I do feel like she just kind of needs just a little more projection. Tie-ins are good, very well balanced from her shoulders to her waist, and she's very snatched. Love her hair. I do think that this hair needs to cover her back connector right here. Peak position's really solid. Yeah, I mean, it was a really close show with her and Tara, and I do think that she can get a win eventually, but it's going to be a matter of when. But overall, very happy with her. I love her suit. I love her makeup. I think she should stick with the green suit. I would, she has worn red, but I feel like for her, like I know China by her teal green suit, and so I would stick with that. Let's go to our first place winner. Let's go to Tara. Here we go. Honestly, I do think one thing about Tara that I see sometimes is her tan may be a little too light on her. The pink suit she does very well. I love the hair. One thing that I think really hurts her is her front, because she does have a she does have like more of a thicker waistline, but if she comes in, but she's working on bringing her waist down, which it has shown that she has done. But her front is going to be something like right here where her core is, that she needs to just continue to bring down and manage. But posing is very well done, very well balanced from her shoulders. Like if you just see where her shoulders go to her elbow to her glute, very well done on the front pose. Her back pose is probably one of the strongest. And I do think that it is a girl that can place. Perhaps, I would say she could get into that like 12, 15 range at the Olympia and eventually be in the top 10 if she continues. But in the back, best one in the whole show. The projection, the tie-ins, the balance, everything is a complete physique. It's just it's a couple things that she can do from now in June to 18 weeks from the Olympia that she can continue to improve. But overall, I'm proud of her. I'm happy to see her get back into it. And I think she's going to do one more show. I'm not going to tell you guys what, you're going to have to find out, but she's going to do one more show before the Olympia in this qualification period. So I'm looking forward to see what she can do and what can she do to improve and adjust, and especially getting in front of the top judges, see what she has to continue to improve on. But honestly, I really like her look. She was very well balanced. Posing is on point. It's just now, can she bring that and bring something very competitive when going forward and going into the Olympia? But I think pink is her signature color. I would stick with it. All right, that's the DC Pro. Let's talk about Toronto. That rhymes. Go here. All right, so in fifth, we had Maxine. I mean, she really brought her up her glutes from last year when she was I mean, I saw it in her story. Let me see if it's up here. I was really impressed with what she brought up. No, I don't know if it's in this, but you could definitely see a total difference from when she brought what she looked at the Olympia. Yeah, look, her glutes were like she didn't have the fullness and density that she does now, but she beat her previous version, even though it was a fifth place, and I know she was the defending champion. And she didn't fade in stage at all. But from here to like what you see now is totally impressive. Yeah, she brought more. I do think it's just with her being more confident on stage and showing that, not just forcing a smile, showing that you're very confident on stage and, bringing that energy as well. Posing is great. Physique is, I just feel like what maybe caused her to maybe get fifth was, let me see if she even says it. Look flat, some better with identity. Yeah, I do feel like, she just needed more fullness, but she did bring more of it. But because if she brought what she did last year, she probably would have been outside the top 5. I definitely think for her, and I pretty much was spot on. I do think that she just needs to bring that fullness so that she doesn't fade on stage or come in flat. Very well balanced, very well put together physique. She honestly has such an underrated physique. I feel like it could do very well in the future in the Olympia. Tie-ins are spot on. The good separation from her glutes to her hamstrings. I do prefer the blue suit on her. That's just me. She chose to go with red. I mean, people think I'm against red. No, I'm not. I just feel like when I'm used to seeing someone in that color, that's how I recognize them very well. But really like the look that she brought. Makeup spot on. Let's see. Tan was very good as well. I just feel like some girls had more fullness that she didn't have, unfortunately. So let's go to. Oh, I don't think she has a stage photo. Where is it? I have to pull it up. Let's go to Alice. So she's from Italy. She has been at the Olympia. Beautiful shape, beautiful structure. I just feel like she just needs more in her shoulders right here. They kind of look small compared to her arms. I would affix this posing because I feel like this foot's way out and it's kind of throwing her off balance. Um, but she is a taller girl. Like one thing about I think some of the like you see a lot of these girls in Europe, they come in way too conditioned. I feel like she just. I mean, this is her first time in the top four in a show that's outside of Europe. So I definitely think if she maybe her feedback is to come in more fuller and maybe adjust some posing for her. I definitely think that she can improve. This suit isn't. I would go with one more toxic suit. I feel like you see more of like the fabric than you see of like the gems. So that's one thing I would suggest for her. Maybe get a suit from Toxic Angels. Just saying. Because if I looked at her with the other girls, you can kind of see, and I'll show you guys what I mean about that when I go back to the top six. But like, I feel like her suit looked way different than the others. It just felt like more fabric. You see more of the blue than the stones, but maybe I'm just seeing things. I don't know. Um, but overall, it's a great structure. Just has to refine some things and obviously bring more fullness, obviously up here. And maybe because it was a long show, she started losing her fullness, especially when Bikini goes almost second to last before the men's open does. But there's certain strategies you have to work through. Okay, let's go to her back. Overall, I just think in the back she just needs more legs. Not to come. I feel like she's just way too tight from her hamstrings down. You kind of see an imbalance between her lower and upper body. It feels like her lower body is much bigger than her upper body up here. So one thing I would say is, bring more legs, bring up, obviously her shoulders had to be something to balance out, and just get more width up top so that you don't look very narrow, because it's like very small, like Y shape. Hair's good. Just like I said, for her, I just would crop it a little bit just to show, just so it's like not under glutes, not over the back. But I feel like she just needs more glutes, more legs, just a couple things she can adjust. Okay, let's go to third, which was Ellie. So you see how her suit looks much different than other girls. You see more, you see more crystals. You see more crystals in the fabric here. I mean, I probably think this is a European suit. It's not like the others where it's like you see more crystals in fabric. I think that's one thing I would suggest is maybe get a different suit as well to make you like stand out. Just like if you had this like solid blue right here that you see with these girls on that, it would look so much better. Let's go to Ellie. So this is her first show back after last year. I do think she has a really great physique. I feel like the one thing with her is just bringing that fullness. I think maybe it's a genetic thing because it feels like from her lower back down, it's kind of hard for like to her that have that upper glute. I feel like she had that, she would have such a great physique, but she makes her detail around her look so much better. Shoulders are good, very well balanced. But one thing and she brought her waist down, which is very impressive, which I think it could have been higher in this lineup. But one thing with Ellie is just I feel like sometimes she's just too conditioned. Sometimes her adductors are very like really pronounced. Shoulders are good. She doesn't need more. Conditioning spot on. I just think that one thing is just what's not in her control is from her front just needs to be adjusted. But and just a little more tighter right here. She could have definitely been in that size. But I definitely think that she was one of the front runners to go and take it. Okay, next. Second was Brittany. So a lot of people had Brittany taking the win here. But I think for her, what happened was she was just way too hard, way too tight in the back. But I definitely think with her and her new coach, they're working things out and they're trying to figure out her physique and see what works, because she's only 5'4". So, but she's longer limbs and longer torso. So she's just filling that frame out and not losing it. But her glutes are really good in the back. It's just the conditioning sometimes in the hamstrings gets way too tight. It was like way too like grainy. And right here, sometimes you can see very leanness. That's one thing that I feel like she can find a way to fill that out without getting too lean. it can help her win. And also just has to balance her like hamstrings to her glutes, because it feels like she's more glute than she is with her legs. But I feel like if she just comes in and fixes those kind of things, it would really help her out. Overall great physique. I think like a darker royal blue would look way better on her. This backdrop in Toronto was like red. People's tans are orange and stuff. I feel like, you know, I mean, one complaint I saw from Justin Shire was that they were playing Black Eyed Peas. They were like playing a 2005 playlist and like their red backgrounds. Just, I feel like some things, are not control. I'm not blaming that's the reason why she plays away. I just feel like some things could be adjusted to make her stand out much better. And I feel like you have lighter hair, lighter skin. You have a light suit. It takes away. Like I feel like you need something dark to contrast. Like she did do iris before purple, which has helped her. She's done red. I don't mind the red on her. I do think like, if she was going to go with a color outside of red, I think like a green or a dark blue would suit her very well. And our winner, let me find a stage photo. Nothing. Okay, so unless no, I'm gonna get a close up here. Let's see. Hold on, let me pull up. It wasn't in the back photo for her. It wasn't really the best. It was kind of like at the side. Let me go here. Here we go. So here's Jess, very, very beautiful girl. Love her makeup, love her hair, love her suit. She did wear pink. I don't mind that on her. She has darker hair. She was when in the past she's been like getting like top 2 in like pro qualifiers. I think she did North Americans one year, and I think she did the Olympic amateur, but she's been getting top 2 a lot. And then finally she turned pro at North Americans, winning the overall at 35. I don't even think she's 35 at all. But one thing about her that I was kind of worried was she'd be way too conditioned, but she's found that balance between, she's found that balance to get like to come in full and not too hard. Amazing calves on her as well. Very well, great poser, great stage presence. I think that really helps her. I think that she can be very comparable to like an Evie or Maria Acosta, who kind of have her similar look with the dark hair and short stature. Love how she's doing this pose. Very well balanced from her upper body to her lower body. I do think maybe just a little more glutes right here could really help her out. But honestly, this was good enough for her to win. And it's a really great physique that she has. She poses very well. This is like right on, spot on. Congratulations to James for teaching her that. But from her shoulder to her elbow to her glute, like this is what you want to see right here in a front pose. Okay, now let me just tell you, this is not the ideal. This is not like a really good like back. This is not a really good photo that they got, but this was the only good back pose they got. So I'm going to make sure that this is not right here. I'm going to share this right here in the back. Spot on with here. I just feel like right here, like she just needs a little more tighter right here, so that you can see the separation of glutes and the tie-ins. Calves are good. It balances out. People say that she's too big in the calves, but great genetics, by the way. And shoulders are balanced. I would adjust this hair a bit so that you can see her left delt. I mean, the tattoos are fine. It doesn't take away her physique. It's very well balanced. She's very snatched. Love the hair, by the way. I do think that going forward, to see what she does from here into now, she can continue to work on those improvements and definitely see what she can do at the Olympia. I would love to see her do a show in front of like Sandy and see what she has to say about it. But getting in front of Tyler and see what he wants and what she wants out of him, suits great on her. Fit composition wise, everything's good. Like this is a really great package she brought, and from going from sixth to third to winning your in within 3 shows in your pro season. It's amazing. I hope to have her on eventually on my interview. So yeah, I'm happy for her. I'm happy to see what she's going to do in the future, and congratulations to her going to Olympia. All right, next up we'll be previewing the shows for this weekend. Let's go. Let's do Empro because it's going to be a small list. So I don't know many girls on here. I maybe know like I could name probably like the top 5 right here, and I'm gonna probably go with them. But our front runner is Evie Eskandar. Any show that she's in, she's most likely the one to take it. Lisa, she's qualified. Rukier is a previous Olympian. Katarina's been like top 4 in a lot of the shows in Europe. And then Liliana, she has competed the US. I think she's been like 3rd before. But other than that, I think Aneta is Masters Olympia. But I don't know many of these girls. So if I was just to pick top 5 right here, I'm going to say Evie's most likely your front runner to win. She has won. She won what? FIBO this year. I don't know what else. Did she win another show? She was 4th in Pittsburgh and took 2nd in New York. Honestly, this is one of the best physiques that she's brought, like and since 2021 when she did her pro debut season. Honestly, she brings such an amazing physique. She knows how to pose very well. She poses in place. But I'd say she's the girl to win this show. She's won, I think, Empro twice before. But I feel like for her, it's just not coming in too vascular, too lean in the shoulders, and balancing out from the back. Like this was really good right here. Right. Let's see. Lisa. She did New York. But in shows in Europe, she's always at one to be like, I think she took 2nd or 3rd in like Texas or Arizona. Arizona was to Adair, and then Texas, she was like 3rd. Could have been 2nd. I feel like because her hair was covering the glutes. But one thing about her is just she comes in way too conditioned, way too hard. I'm trying to get used to the darker hair and the green suit because I'm so used to seeing her in red. But I think it's a good look for her. But I think that she just needs to fix her makeup and, like I said, not come in too hard. But I feel like Europe shows get judged. But with Tyler judging here in Empro, she has to go with US criteria. But it's on her front. May not be the best as everyone else, but her back is very competitive with a lot of these girls. So we'll see what she can do. But I would say that she takes 2nd, 3rd in here, most likely. Go to Rookie. So her last show, I think, was the Hurricane. Yeah. At the Olympia, she's in like that one of the last call outs because I just feel like she comes in way too hard, way too conditioned. She is a taller girl, but I do think that if she finds a way to adjust certain things and find a way to minimize her waist right here because she has a shorter torso and thicker waistline, she honestly could be a very good standout physique. It's like she, yeah, like you could see how tight she is right here. Just needs a little more glutes. She needs, I think, more glute. Like her front's good, could be adjusted, could use some adjustments a bit. Makeup, I would kind of minimize it because I'm kind of looking at that more than her physique. But I say that she's most likely like in that top 3. Then let's see. Katarina. So in New York, in front of Tyler, she was outside top 10. But in Europe and Spain, she's in the top 4. But maybe she takes her feedback and adjusts some things. This is from the Spain show. I'm used to seeing her like in a dark purple. I do think like a solid blue would work well for her, but the pink contrasts with her darker hair. I do think that she just needs to match her lower body to her upper body. Because up top, she's like really good. And she could just use more glutes. All right. And then I'd say your 5th place would most likely be. Where's Liliana? Did she do? Let me see. Here we go. I think this was our last show. Honestly, amazing physique, but I feel like, and she's a very beautiful girl, and she's done pretty well in US shows, but I feel like she just needs, because she just needs more glutes right here. I think that's kind of her issue, why she doesn't place very well. But I do think that if she can come back with those improvements, just a little more tighter, right? Just a little more tighter, and just bringing up her hamstrings, I definitely think. But one thing about her is because she has a thicker waist and she's more wide in the back. If some girls are more snatched, it's kind of like you're going to go with that look more. I do think that she needs to adjust this front pose as well because it's kind of like too side profile. All right, that's Empro. So then let's go to Nevada State. We got a big list. It's Ashley would normally typically do this show, but I guess that she's not deciding not to do it. So I'm going to just hold on, type a couple things up in here. Let's do this. Let's do Nevada State. Let's do Nevada State. Empro. I'm looking at my scores. I got a 67% in Toronto, and I got a 64% in Empro. I think the one that messed me up was Lolo. So hold on, where are we at? Here we go. So Nathalia, we just talked about. Kimber, she's done okay. Tori, she did Pittsburgh. I feel like it was her pro debut, so I feel like getting nerves out, and definitely can see like her, like maybe perhaps moving up, and we'll see how that goes. Honestly, she has an amazing physique. I just feel like maybe a little too conditioned. I don't know what her feedback was, but in the back, she's really strong back pose. I do think she needs to minimize the pink in her eyes because I'm looking at that more. But I honestly think this is like a very comparable physique to like almost like Reina. So I'd say that she's up there. Peyton. She did Legion. She took 6th. She's fourth in, I think, fourth in Wasatch. So I definitely say that she's one of the top 3 girls to be looking after. I just think that it's her front that may hurt her because of her waist. But she comes in tighter. It definitely could be someone that can be up in the top spots. We'll just have to see. It just depends on who shows up best. Okay, let's go. Nikki. So this will be her second pro show. She took 6th in the DC Pro. Very beautiful girl. I feel like from her lower body down, it's almost like Amy Delgado, but it's just from like right here from her waist up. She just needs to maybe adjust this front pose right here. I feel like her arms almost on her glute. I do feel like she just needs to be more tighter in her core. I honestly think when she took 2nd in the overall at Junior USA's, I feel like it was her front that may have hurt her, but her back pose is really spot on, really on point, very comparable to top girls. She doesn't need more shoulders. I think that's one of her favorite body parts. She's been said, but I feel like she could really adjust the front pose and come in more tighter in the waist. Definitely think that it could really help accentuate her physique. I definitely think she could be in the top 5 here. But winning will be kind of winning against, I think, some of the girls I'm going to show you later. I think she can do very well. I mean, if she does win, hey, that's great. That's awesome for a rookie to do this. Beautiful hair, like beautiful, like overall beautiful look, makeup, hair, suit, everything. I wouldn't change the suit at all. I mean, makeup is really spot on here. Tam is pretty good. I don't know if it's just lighting. No, Tam was good. But I say that she's one of the girls to be looking out for. Let's see. Nay. She is Olympia qualified, but people ask me why I don't think she's a front runner to win. I just do think that I do think that she can be like within the top 5, top 6 spots. I mean, maybe I could be proven wrong, and maybe she comes in and improves. But I feel like from her last showing, I think she was like 12 or 13. I think that's kind of why I put her kind of down for that reason. I think that her back pose is very solid because she's taller and has a shorter torso. I feel like it's just kind of balancing that out. Let me see if I can just find like where she's just standing alone. I just feel like I have to just pause the video. But I feel like how she does her front pose throws it off. But she has an amazing physique, don't get me wrong. Shoulders are good, glutes are full. She has insane glute inserts with like almost like when you have those long glute inserts, it really helps her out. But in the back, she's snatched. It's just her back pose is good, but her front needs to match that. And I think over time, as she's working with opposing coach, she'll fix that, and it can help her physique. She has amazing genetics, by the way. So that's one I would say we have to look out for. Judy's out, and then Laura. I think she's from Europe and now she lives in the US, or she's just spending time between them both. But I think now she lives in the US. She hasn't competed, I think, in 2 years, but she has a great following on YouTube. I think her last show was Optimum, and she took, I think, top 10. I feel like as she came back with the improvements in 2 years, I definitely think that she can be up in those top spots. We'll just have to see. But she has an amazing physique. Let's see if any stage photos. No. Go down more. It'll take too long if I found it, but yeah, I'd say that she's one to be looking after. See, go to Fatou. So I'd say that she's most likely your front runner to win. She took second in Legion. Amazing physique. This is her pro season. Honestly, has an amazing structure, but I feel like she just needed a little more up top to bounce with her lower body. She's taller and longer. And as a natural athlete, to look like this is truly amazing. I just think that when she was being compared to Alice just had a little more fullness to her. But honestly, amazing physique. I definitely say that she's the one to look after. I do think that she could be the front runner to win, most likely take this or be in that top 2 spot, I would say. So we'll see how it goes. But she looks phenomenal. And I do think that, the suit's great. I just think a little more so she doesn't look small up top. A couple adjustments to her presentation. Definitely think that she's in the driver's seat to win the show. So then we'll go to our next competitor, Elsavet. This is her second show back after 2 years. She got fourth at Nevada at Mile High. Any stage photos? She used to have darker hair, but now her hair is blonde. I'd say that she's like a younger Ashley Kay. I mean, they're both in the same team, so I'd say that's kind of what she's like. I do think that if she came in more fuller right here, because it kind of feels like you could see in her arms. Maybe it was different on stage because we didn't have any stage photos, so I can't really talk much about that. But I'd say that she's one of the girls to be looking out for. All right. And then Jasmine Williams, she's a previous Olympian, but she's kind of had a difficult time. Erica DeVera is one person we have to also look at for. Brie Burton. This is her rookie season, so this is another person I'd say we look out for. And then Tiana. Tiana could be the star of this weekend. She took 5th in her past two shows. I definitely think that for her, let me see here. But I feel like for her, she just needs to bring in fullness. And I think if you saw her feet position, she could adjust that. So here we go. Tiana. I should say Tiana, not Tiana. Her name is Tiana. So I'm sorry if I messed up. So Tiana, I definitely think that she can fix it. But I feel like her foot position causes her to be a little too tight. If she can just adjust that and bring fullness and bring that confidence on stage, I definitely think that she could win the show. It's going to be difficult with these veterans, and especially with a competitor as great as Fatou is. But I definitely think if she can nail it with the peak, with everything, it's only one pro division going on and a couple in the amateurs. So I definitely think that she's in that spot to take the win here. But we'll see how it goes. Honestly, very young, very beautiful girl. It has a phenomenal physique. Just needs to bring that fullness, nail the posing in the back, and I definitely think that she could take it. We'll just have to see. I do think she needs a little more density because she is young. She's still maturing and growing into the sport. So we'll see how that goes. So those are my preview and my recaps. Okay, let's go into predictions. So let's go here. Empro, I'm going Evie. I'm going Lisa, Rukier, Katerina, and I'm going to go Lily. Oh, yeah, Mile High, I got 84% because I got the top 3 right. and Elsavet was down by 1 point. So, hey, I was pretty good on Mile High, but the other 2, I got 67, 64%. Okay, Nevada State. I'd say Fatou can win. But you know what? I'm not losing anything. I have nothing to lose. So I'm gonna go Tiana, Fatou, I'm gonna go Peyton. Nikki. Nay. Laura. Elsabet. 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 Is it Elsabet or Elsabet? I'm sorry if I mess up. Elisabeth. Elisabeth. I'm gonna go Tori. Nathalia. Bree. I do think Fatoken is going to win the show, but I like the underdog. I like the person who is fighting to get a win. So I do think this, I mean, this is going to be probably the most unpredictable show. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's all for me. Thank you guys so much. If you like the video, comment who you want to win the show. Let me know what you guys think. So we'll see how it goes. But anyways, thank you guys so much, and you guys take care. Thanks.